Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Medicom Toy Mafex number 203, the Infinity Saga, Captain America the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, James Buchanan Barnes, the Winter Soldier. So this is fitting since I just reviewed the Captain America in the stealth suit from Captain America the Winter Soldier. Now, appropriately, we will take a look at the Winter Soldier himself. So this is an exciting one too. He also comes with a Captain America shield. It's kind of that dirty one from that freeway fight scene between him and Steve Rogers, which is really cool. So I'm excited for this one. I will do a comparison with the Marvel Legends, which, God, is just so outdated and everything there. So we're going to take a look at him. Big shout out and thank you to Big Bad Toy Store for sending this my way so I could check out for you guys. So make sure to check out Big Bad Toy Store for all your action figure needs. Link in the video description below to get your Winter Soldier. He is in stock right now. The same with the Captain America stealth suit. He is also in stock right now, and they got loads of other MCU Mafex figures or comic figures, all of that. Link in the video description below to check it out. Looking at the box, we get there, side artwork, Mafex number 203. We see everything that he's going to come with. A couple of different head sculpts. It looks like we have 3 different head sculpts. We got a shield, we got a few knives in there, we got some extra set of hands as well. So let's go ahead and get everything out of the box and take a look. Okay, so here's the tray. So there are 3 heads. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 extra sets of hands. So there's total of 8 sets of hands, which is crazy. He also has like those clip versions, so you could do it to where he's like holding his shield. So it's kind of that cheat. It looks like we got the same clip system, strap system that Steve Rogers came with, and we have the 3 knives there. So I'm excited for this one. He actually looks good. I think he may actually look better than the Captain America figure, which is kind of crazy. So let's go ahead and check that out now. Ooh, here is the Winter Soldier figure out of the package. And you know what? Yeah, I'm going to come out and say it. He's better than the Captain America figure. He is really good. We got upper bicep swivel, which I seem to actually like. I mean, Captain America didn't have it, but he had pretty good range of motion. But having the bicep swivels in there just makes it a little bit easier to kind of move around. I like that he doesn't have the big ball joint elbows that Captain America also had. He just looks like a better figure overall aesthetically. Like, not that Captain America was bad, but Winter Soldier just steps up. Like, this is what Mafex, the other Mafex figures that I have, this is kind of what I'm a little bit used to. Those big ball joint elbows that were all smooth kind of really threw me off, but this one's pretty good. Not that this figure is perfect, it definitely has its flaws, but man, what a really good looking figure. He doesn't have any guns though. I don't know if Mafex, I don't know what the deal is. Do they not have guns with their figures or something? That would be the biggest, disappointment, is that there's no guns on this guy. And then his ball pegs on his wrist for his right hand does not match his skin tone, like, at all. It's actually kind of odd, and I'll show you guys that when we get in for a closer look. But this is one beautiful looking figure. So let's go ahead and get in for the closer look. We'll take a look at all the accessories and all that good stuff. Okay, so here's the close look at the Winter Soldier. We get 3 different head sculpts. So this one I already kind of changed out already. So this is the one where he has the mask on, and then he have the one where he has the mask on, and then he also has the goggles. And the cool thing about that is the goggles, they are see-through, translucent plastic, so you can't see his eyes in there. It's difficult, but you can see him. And then we have the Sebastian Stan unmasked, ungoggled head sculpt there, and that looks pretty good. The only thing we don't have is where he has like the war paint like over his eyes and things like that, but I think it's probably better without, or if they would have done like a 4th head sculpt with it, that would have been pretty cool too. So the 3 different head sculpts, which all look really good, but looking at the figure, it just looks awesome. Now, in the movie, he had more of a brownish color. I think Marvel Legends made it a little too light brown, and I think Mafex may have made it a little too dark brown. I'd have to go back and look. I'm trying to do it based off of memory here. You could see that it is brown, even though it might look a little black. There is some brown color to it, but it all looks really good. Nice sculpted details in the jacket and everything like that. There's some silver accenting in there too. The metal arm looks pretty good. You get the red star there. Looks pretty clean. It looks like there is a little bit of a wash inside on some areas, maybe kind of more so the shoulder. I don't know if that's actually shading now that I look at it. Maybe it looks like there definitely is in there, but maybe not so much the rest of the arm. The hand looks good. It's a gloved hand, and then you get the metal on there. That all looks pretty good. Looking at the rest of the figure, Just got these black pants, black boots there. It all looks pretty good. He's got these straps and things on there, the knee pads. That all looks pretty good. Here he's got a knife sheath. I mean, we got, like, he used that grenade launcher at one point on that fight, in that fight scene, but we don't get any guns, which is kind of crazy. We get 3 knives. So we got this one here, which, you know, I have to look to see kind of where some of these knives are going to sheath. These 2 might be the same, or they're going to be similar. Nope, these 2 I guess are the same. Are they the exact same? Yeah, these 2 are the exact same knives, as you can see there. So I'm probably going to assume these ones will go into here since they are the same. So we got like twin knives. Ooh, that one doesn't want to sheath in there. That was a little bit tough. So you could sheath the knives there. And then he has this very thin dagger here. And I'm going to assume that one's going to go here on his side. Because it is a very thin blade and does fit in there nicely like so. So that is the Winter Soldier. He comes with the shield. This is a very dirty look. It is not smooth, which is really cool. So I like the way that came out looking. It uses that same clip system. I'm not sure which one was the one that's removable. That's the removable one. This one seems to hold on much tighter than the Captain America one did. But, you know, I haven't really... Yeah, look at that. That holds really nice and tight, which is great. And then if you want him to hold the shield, because at one time in the movie he does, you can place the long strap on there. And that holds really well there. Look at that. It just topples over as soon as I stop shaking it. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, it holds tight. So there is the shield, and then we get a bunch of different hands. So here is the set of hands for holding the shield. And again, the way this one works here is that clip is going to go up under that strap, and then it makes it look like he is holding onto the shield like so. We get these open gesturing hands here. We get like these clawed-ish type hands there. We get like these relaxed open hands here. We get trigger finger hands with no guns. We have knife holding hands. He's got fists out of the package. We have these knife holding hands here, as you can see that. And then he's got another set of hands here that are probably for holding that one very thin knife. So 2 different hands to hold the knife. So this is probably the twin set of knives that he has on his back. Then this one for that thin one. And that is all the accessories that the Winter Soldier comes with, except we are going to check out the different heads. We are going to swap those around. We like to see those, right? So this one's pretty easy. That peg isn't coming off like it did on Steve Rogers. So that is good. Here we have the one with the goggles. And that does have a really good look to it. I like that. And then out of the packet, oh, it did come off. Okay. So that one's going to be trickier because Steve Rogers didn't have long hair. I was able to just grab it and pull it. This one's in a little bit deeper, so you guys are going to have to give me a second for that. So I pulled off the head a little slowly, and then it was really loose in there, so I was able to just kind of go like that and kind of pull it out. It is a much shorter peg than the Steve Rogers one was. And the way I had gotten Steve Rogers, like you can't, it's too, like if you have certain things, like I can't just force this back in. Oh, I can't just force that back into the neck. Steve Rogers one, I definitely couldn't. I had to like hold it in there and then match it up with the head and then like push it down real quick to be able to get it. But bam, there we go. There is the Sebastian Stan, and that does look like him. I think, again, I've had some criticisms on Mafex actor likenesses, so like the Tom Holland, I don't think did very good. And I think I kept saying Tom Hiddleston, that was pointed out to me. But Tom Holland, the early Spider-Man figures, like it didn't look like him at all. Like it was really bad. They've definitely come a long way. You know, we have a Chris Evans, we have Robert Downey Jr., so, you know, their likenesses, they've really stepped it up and improved quite a bit. So kudos. Oops, I dropped my light. Kudos to Mafex for really showing a lot of improvement there, because, you know, that's Robert Downey Jr. in my opinion. That's Sebastian Stan, and that's Chris Evans there. So Mafex has really come a long way. Okay, so we're going to go over the articulation for the Winter Soldier, and it's basically the same points of articulation as Captain America, except we get the added bicep swivels. But because Bucky, Winter Soldier Bucky Barnes has longer hair, he's really not going to be able to look up, unfortunately. He can look down, though, which is good. You do get... Well, you don't get a whole lot of pivot because that hair just is at that shoulder length, so it just hits. You can swivel, of course, and do all that. The arms you can get to go straight on out like so. You get a full rotation in there, which is great. Again, same thing on the other arm. You do get a little bit of a butterfly, as you can see. You can move it around. You don't get a whole lot of cross body, unfortunately, but you can get it to go back a little bit. We have that upper bicep swivel. You get that double jointed elbow, so you get that much bend there. So a lot more bend. So actually, Steve Rogers is actually like a single elbow. So we do get the added bicep and then the added other for the elbow. So we get a couple of added points for articulation. Wrists swivel and they do hinge, ball joint hinge, so you can hinge it around however you need it. Ball joint and upper diaphragm cut on Bucky, so you can get him to tilt to his left that much, which is pretty crazy. As you can see how much he can move. Tilt to his right that much, pretty insane. Going back total that much there, which is good. And then coming forward, look at that. That's good. So we got that. You get a swivel at that way, so you get a swivel at that diaphragm up there. We do get the drop down hips, so you can see how far down those hips can go. You do full splits there. You can kick forward very far on the Winter Soldier, and then getting the leg to go back. Hold on, let's put these back up there. The leg does go back a little bit as well. There is somewhat of a thigh swivel in there. You get a double jointed knee. That much bend there. The knee pad kind of sticks out quite a bit, but I don't think it's a problem. But there's no boot swivel, so we lose that on the Winter Soldier figure. You do have a swivel at that ankle. You can hinge the foot down a little bit. You can hinge up a little bit. You do get an ankle pivot, and you have toe articulation there. No boot cover, so these feet can move around much easier than Captain America. I'm able to get him to stand just fine and everything like that. But these feet are definitely, work with you a lot more than that Steve Rogers figure. So, any criticisms from that Steve Rogers, like they changed all of that up for this Winter Soldier figure. And I don't know if they must have been the Mafex figures, the releases back to back, right? Because Stealth Suit was 202, this one's 203. So Mafex, I don't think they would have been working on any other figures in between. I don't know how the development process and all that works, but lots of improvements made. Again, I had an earlier criticism on this, and I don't know how well it's going to come out on camera, but if you look at his skin tone is very pale, and they used a very peachy color for that wrist peg. Is it a big deal? Not at all, but I'm telling you, it's a little bit noticeable when you have the figure in hand. And then I'm just now noticing this, and I think his metal hand might just look a little bit larger than the other. And I don't know if that would make sense, but it definitely looks bigger. And I don't think that's really the case. Well, it could be because he's wearing a glove versus not wearing a glove. So I guess that does make sense. Yeah, a little bit. Okay, so I have the two different knife holding hands in there, and just as I thought, they're specific to the type of knife that they're actually going to be able to hold. This one has more of a round grip in there, so you can hold that very thin dagger. And then here you can hold the larger knife. So that is how those hands work. And while the Winter Soldier might not have any guns, if you do have guns laying around, you can use those trigger finger hands that he comes with to grip onto other weapons if that's how you wanted to do it there. So this is a G.I. Joe Classified Series rifle that came with Snake Eyes, I believe. So you can do that there, and then you can have him posed around in certain ways. And of course, I'm just trying to go through his quickly. You could probably stretch that hand over that gun there. You could do stuff like that. So, there we go. You can do stuff like that. Just he doesn't come with the gun, so you got to use your own guns. But he comes with the right hands to do it, and you have the butterfly joints, bicep swivel, so you can easily get him into poses using guns, which is great. Okay, so this figure is just a whole lot of fun. So you can kind of recreate scenes and moments from the movie. That's kind of what I have going on here when he has the shield, and it just looks so good. It's perfect that they came with this shield and then just dirtied it up to really show off that scene. So, more to come. Here we go. I'm gonna try some things. Okay, so I pieced together a little something, and I've taken a picture. You guys will see it on like Instagram. Likely see it at like marvelousnews.com. Also, but I think it came out pretty good. You know, like on how the angle and stuff I did it and things like that. And I know like Winter Soldier, I could probably pose him better. It's just like difficult to get the arm in the right place and everything like that. And I know obviously Steve Rogers was in civilian clothes and not in his Captain America suit at all, but you know, we got to work with what we got, right? But I'm just having a whole lot of fun with this figure. You know, certain figures from time to time will give me inspiration to do certain types of shots. You know, I'm not super big into photography, but every now and then ideas do pop into my head. And this was one of them, you know, being able to recreate those iconic moments from the MCU, from Captain America the Winter Soldier specifically. And the Mafex figures allow us to do that a little bit more than like Marvel Legends might from time to time. So this Winter Soldier figure, again, just I'm having a whole lot of fun with it. Okay, so here we go with the side-by-side comparison. So here is the Winter Soldier Marvel Legends figure. And this was the re-release that came out during the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This was like the flashback version, which did have an updated head sculpt, which was better. Yes, the figure was not improved, however. So, yeah, not good. This one, great, fantastic. This one, not really. At the time, you know, when it was originally released, yeah, sure, kind of, but no, not now. And then, of course, let's look at, obviously, the obvious one here, the Captain America from the Winter Soldier in the stealth suit. There is going to be a classic suit version Captain America that's going to be coming out from Captain America the Winter Soldier also, so I'll be sure to be getting that one. That one's going to be excited. You know, when you want to like recreate like that final battle and the helicarrier and all of that, you do that. So there we add in Captain America. If we look at other Mafex figures, we have Iron Man. See, now Iron Man looks a little undersized compared, and I don't know if just with these Winter Soldier figures that they've started to make them larger, like Steve Rogers. Either Steve Rogers is too big or Iron Man is too small. Looking at Iron Man next to the Winter Soldier, he seems a little undersized, or Winter Soldier seems a little oversized. You guys let me know down in the comments below, which do you think is really going on here? But then to throw a wrinkle in the mess is if we add in like Spider-Man. This is the upgraded suit from Far From Home. Since they have not released any No Way Home figures yet, they have announced Toby, and they just announced the integrated suit. It looks like a final battle version. Spider-Man is quite small, so I think Spider-Man, Iron Man, those sizes kind of work together. But you guys let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Okay, that is my review of the Mafex Winter Soldier figure. Quite possibly the best Mafex MCU figure that I have. The Iron Man is really good. Cap is cool. The Spider-Mans are good. But man, this Winter Soldier is like on a whole other level. So you guys let me know down in the comments below. What do you think of this Mafex Winter Soldier figure? I think it's fantastic. Let me know if you've picked it up. If you're on the fence, it is in stock at bigbadtoystore.com right now. Link in the video description below to pick it up. But man, I highly recommend it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.